after my son died. His widow inherited the house and $55 million. A short time later she threw me out, yelling, "You don't belong here, go rot in a dumpster." The day after we buried my son, David, I thought the worst of the pain was over. I was wrong. The real nightmare began the moment I watched my daughter-in-law, Chloe, walk past me in a sharp cream business suit, not black, already plotting to erase every trace of him from the world he'd so lovingly built. It was a betrayal that cut deeper than grief itself. I sat in David's living room, in that big worn leather armchair we'd picked out together years ago, and the silence in that house screamed louder than any shout. It wasn't a peaceful silence, not the kind that comes with mourning. No, this was a cold, hard, brittle silence, the kind that feels like it's about to shatter with a single wrong move. Every corner of that house echoed with David's absence. It was in the way the morning sunlight hit the floorboards we'd laid, in the familiar scent of old books from the library we'd built together, in the quiet hum of the servers in the basement that powered the incredible company he'd created from absolutely nothing. Then I heard it. A sharp click-clack of heels on the hardwood floors upstairs. It felt like a violation of the sacred grief that should have filled that space. Chloe descended the grand staircase, and I swear to God, she looked like she was heading to a hostile takeover, not still mourning her husband. Her tailored cream suit, her perfect, coolly composed makeup. It was a mask, a barrier. She glided past me, her expensive perfume trailing behind her, and didn't even glance in my direction. She pulled out her phone and started talking, her voice crisp, devoid of any human emotion. "No, the timeline has to be accelerated," she said, walking toward the kitchen. "We need to liquidate the secondary assets by the end of the quarter. It's about maximizing liquidity. The past is the past." I sat there, feeling like a ghost already, like a piece of antique furniture she hadn't yet bothered to throw out. And in that moment, I knew with a chilling certainty that the storm wasn't over. It was just beginning, and I was caught right in its eye. The very next day, we found ourselves in the polished mahogany conference room of David's lawyer, Mr. Davies. The air was thick with the scent of leather and old paper, heavy with unspoken tension. I'd known Mr. Davies for 20 years. He'd watched David grow up, had advised him when his little startup was just a dream sketched on a napkin. He looked at me with such a pained expression before he finally put on his professional glasses and cleared his throat. Chloe sat opposite me, her back ramrod straight, her hands clasped on the table. Again, she looked like a CO at a hostile takeover, not a grieving widow. It was unsettling. Mr. Davies began to read David's last will and testament. The legal language was dense, but the core of it was brutally, heartbreakingly simple. Clause after clause outlined the transfer of everything David owned. His controlling shares in the AI company, valued at over $50 million, his entire portfolio of investments, the cars, the art, the bank accounts, even the house. Every single thing was to be transferred to my beloved wife, Chloe Peterson. My name was mentioned only once in a single sterile sentence. "To my father, Robert Peterson, I leave my deepest gratitude for being a wonderful father and my first and greatest teacher." The air just left my lungs. It wasn't about the money, not really. I'd never cared about the money. It was the feeling of being utterly, completely erased. I looked at Chloe. She wasn't looking at me, but a small, almost imperceptible smile touched the corners of her lips. It was a smile of pure, unadulterated victory. In her eyes, I wasn't a grieving father anymore. Full story on the channel. Link below. Click now and watch what happened next.